Bend the knee! Hey, what's going on, everybody? This time I had to take it back to Winterfell to talk about the big man himself, Hodor. Now, you already know the deal. If you're not caught up on books 1 through 5, seasons 1 through 4 in this case, because apparently he's not going to be in season 5, um, shouldn't be here, right? So, what do we know about Hodor? Now, Hodor is a character who um didn't get fully translated from the books to the show. And I only say fully translated because we don't get any background on him in the show other than he's, kind of like, stable boy, protector of Bran. That's pretty much all we get in the actual show of Hodor. Now, in the books, we find out that he supposedly, and I say supposedly because, we don't know 100% for sure, but he's supposedly Old Man's great grandson. And we don't know exactly how old he is in the show. He looks like he's in his, early to mid 40s. He's all grayed out and everything. But he's Old Man's great grandson. And his name is not Hodor. His name is Walder. Now, apparently, he's been saying Hodor for so long, and that is the only word he can apparently say, and people just happen to think that that's his name. He's been called all different kinds of basically derogatory names: lackwit, dimwit, halfwit, etc., imbecile, you know, um, and me, I happen to, like, when I was going to school, I remember, seeing kids who were in special ed and always uh, thinking to myself, it's messed up that people make fun of them because it's not their fault for who they are, but talking about a time that's supposed to be medieval and based off of medieval England, where they didn't understand mental illness and birth defects, etc., etc. So for them, they really didn't have any kind of sympathy. It was just like, oh yeah, here's the big dumb guy. It's no problem to say things about him because he doesn't really have feelings. He's not a person like you or I. So and in the show we actually get a lot, well, not a lot more action out of him, but a little bit more action. Like, for example, the scene where he actually has to kill Locke, or he's taken over by Bran in order to kill Locke. Um, and the scene just outside the Redwood Tree in the far north, where Bran again takes him over. Obviously, as we can see from the show, he's not prone to violence. He, doesn't really respond well to aggressive behavior. Um, like many people, not just people who happen to be mentally deficient like him. Hopefully we'll get to see exactly what the word Hodor means. Uh, I mean, and I know it's gotta be crazy for the actor who's playing him. It's one thing to read, in the books where he's around and everybody's like, oh, blah blah blah, and he's just Hodor, 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 and they try to figure out like what the inflections of that are supposed to be, or like what it's supposed to mean in the situation. But I think the actor actually does a great job where you get to see this, like, he's not an idiot. He understands things. If you talk to him and you tell him to do something, it's not like he's sitting there like, hold on. No, he understands things. So yeah, he's obviously not just some great fool or anything like that. But yeah, I just Hodor is a very interesting character, and if, like I said, the actor, it's got to be trying for him because, geez, you spend your life, or you go to get training, um, in order to do this profession. You show up for what could potentially be a career making role. You have no idea what it is you're doing. They hand you a script, and they're like, okay, so your character's name is Hodor. You're the protector of this rich kid who's got crippled. All right, and so here's your lines. I'm sorry, sir. I only have one word. Yeah, yeah. Those are your lines. It just says Hodor. That's my character's name. Why do I keep on saying like this? It doesn't matter. But just can you do this? All right. This is a very important thing. We need you to say Hodor. Uh, uh, Hodor. You got the part. Oh my God, you're phenomenal. You Hodor. Just oh man. Did you guys hear that? The way he just Hodor. Oh, with such passion and conviction. Just Hodor. Anyway, yeah, that's enough of my rambling about Hodor. This was another subscriber request. Yeah, that's go to show you. I listen. You suggest them, I'll do them. All right. Anyway, you already know the deal. Rate, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends. Come back for more. Leave suggestions. Comment. I don't get enough comments. Jeez, you would figure, I'm doing all this. You guys watch the videos. Leave some comments, right? Jeez. Anyway, yeah, that's been my time. Don Willie. I'm out. Hold on.